From wherever you're joining us from, hello and welcome to Her Essence. I'm your host, Sonia Masharia. Buckle up and let's talk. Last week I wasn't in, but my friend here discussed on treasure of a woman, and I thought this is something that has always been on my mind, and ask myself, why do you think women stay, or ladies at large stay in relationships that are abusive or hurtful, and you just choose to stay? Why do we stay? With me today is also the amazing co-host I have. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm asking you, why do you think women stay in relationships even after the hurt or after everything they have been through? Why do you think we stay there?
Well, first of all, let me say my name is Martha, and I'm glad to be with you here today. And I'm glad that my co-host is back.
I am
looking awesome than before. I think these breaks are needful. If people come back looking this good, then I'm taking a break double. So so
you need to take care of yourself.
So I think I'll also take my break. Anyway, aside that, from what she has asked, I think it's something that is so rampant in the society today, that people get into relationships, very unhealthy ones, and of course, as she's mentioned, abusive ones, and they can't leave those relationships. One thing that I can mention, basically from just the fact that this person entered a relationship. You can't enter a relationship if there's no hope. These people start by making things like seducing you into something because they know you will know them true self. So they really bring out a good part of them that makes you feel so encouraged and that this person is out of the world and worth giving your life. So they come with very, very ulterior motives, very manipulative, whereby they're very good, very out of even human standards, and even you begin to feel like you're so attached to them. So their basic foundational weapon is mainly to create the emotional bond, because most of the time when we have that strong bond emotionally and even psychologically, you tend to find it hard to detach from anything. So they do that many times because they want to cover up for something that they know is going to be very effective once it shows up in the near future. So when they have connected with you emotionally, they have seduced you enough to be in the relationship, then the real them begins to come in, and then these people begin to stay there hoping that whatever made them come into the relationship will come back, because you saw a very good guy or a woman, you saw a very promising person, and you're wondering what's happening. So you're like, I will wait until this person shows up again.
Because you have talked about emotional, and we are emotional beings as women, and I think that there's this assumption after you have interacted with someone, there's this nature that just comes out from us that you want to change them. I will change him, I will make him better, he will change for me, or he will do it better because he loves me. But the one thing I think women should understand as women, you cannot change a human being, especially a very grown man. You can't change a human being, because you find these cases. I was watching Crime and Justice, I think episode 4 something, spoiler alert, but it's about a femicide and battery. This woman is being beaten, but all the time is he will be better. We always find an excuse to excuse their behavior and to be like, it's ni stress ya job. Hapana, alinunua shamba akapata mekoniwa, that's why he's doing this. We want to find a justification for staying, because we are accustomed to nurture people. We are accustomed to be these motherly people that I want to take care of you. I want to change you to be better. That's why you find the only thing that removes watu wanatokanga kwa hizo relationships ni unapata mtu alikufa, like literally amechapa, but you know, to get to that point. Because the other thing I was thinking, do you think also, you were talking about treasure of a woman, as I said earlier, do you think us not realizing that is inachangia history?
Sana. I think to add on what you're saying, the first thing that is causing so many relationships and even very bad relationships to override our lives, basically is we don't love ourselves enough to realize the best we need for our lives. You know, if you really love yourself, you won't allow some things to be part of you. As in, these things come so natural. You know, no, this is not worth who I am. And if I know
Yeah.
the treasure that I have inside of me, the kind of value that is inside of me, I will quickly run when I see some things, because I know I'll affect generations. I'm not standing, we always look at ourselves as single human beings,
Yeah.
but I represent generations coming after me, and I might affect so many generations coming from my own self because of somebody who affected my life at a particular point. So if we really understand who we are, we will become very decisive with any decision we make, and especially when it comes to relationships, because they really play a major role in our lives. They affect so much because they are always the center of everything we do, in everything and in life.
But you see, like an abusive partner, one thing they aim to or the attack is your identity. Because as much as I can realize my treasure, but I have lived with this person who has always told me you're not enough, I can literally just go and get another person. If you get out of this marriage, then you're never gonna find anyone else. Because they have tarnished the image you have for yourself. They have tarnished your identity, that, as I always say, identified by only God. But they have aimed to manipulate that, and your happiness is defined by this man. So you're like, if I leave, then who am I? Because there's that aspect of a man. We always most of us place our happiness to our partners, to our boyfriends, to our husbands, and then you have that fear of when they leave, I'm gonna be void or something like that. So I think that's also another reason why people stay, because of the fear of the unknown.
A very big reason, I agree, because many people, like you're talking about these abusive relationships, always fear, one, what will people say? They have looked at me as a very stable one, a very wise person. I have made it in life. Now what will they say outside here? Those are some of the reasons that people fear, actually, because they're like, one, I have built up my life around this person, around this place. When I leave, where do I start? So if people cannot be firm in who they are and believe in themselves enough, some of these things can be very difficult. It doesn't just begin to be stable enough for you to be very, very decisive when rough tides come your way. Because what matters is, as much as this person is supposed to be put ahead, as we are being told, when it comes to serious issues, you have to put yourself ahead. Because if you're talking about you're staying there because of children, for instance, for those who are married, what kind of environment are you exposing them to in that particular place? When they are seeing an abusive father, when they can't respect men if they are women, they will always see this. Before that image tarnishes, it becomes a very long journey for them to go through. So, or even they begin believing that this is how life is.
That's
so
how it's
they
supposed
go,
to be,
and the cycle continues even with your children. So begin to be very stable enough that any decision, and remember, as you've said, happiness does not come from your partner. Happiness comes from you. If you ever rely on somebody for happiness, you will never be happy, because people will never make you happy. People always have so much, even your partner in their life, there's still work going on, friends, family,
and
so you can imagine
really fast.
A small percentage will be allocated to you. So if you're waiting for that to be happy, how happy will you be? Honestly, you have to make it a habit for you to enjoy every moment of your day, and of course make yourself happy from the inside. That is the only way you can experience happiness, even from the other person.
I like what you've said about how the society has romanticized the idea of being in a relationship and being in a marriage, that if I don't achieve that, it's an achievement. So if I fail in that, then the society is gonna tarnish and be like, son, what's up? No, I mean, it's always our fault. It's always our need to want us to be these stable relationships. But you're getting hurt, but you want to smile for the camera and go to church and say, oh my God, this is my husband, because that's what society aims as an achievement. That's what we have been taught. You, from like a young age, ladies, you are taught how to treat your husband, osha vyombo, or ukikosa kujua kupika utarudishwa huku, because that's the end goal. We have made marriage an end goal, that you know how you say the end justifies the means. But again, when you get to like the end should be happiness, not marriage. Because when you get to marriage and you're not happy, but we have been taught that's end, that so you want to, oh my God, that I changed.
And the end should actually being with the right person. People are so in love with the idea of love, not getting the right person. If you realize that is what is outside here. people are like, one day I'll have this person, we will be doing this, we'll be doing a wedding, we will have good life. People are in love with the idea of love. They're not in love with the idea of getting the right person. They don't know what they really want to get there for. So if you really get to search deeper, you realize people don't really understand where they're headed. They are only going there because they feel marriage or other relationships is a happy place, is a place to feel good about it. So they go there blindly without realizing there's a lot they need to focus on before they even get into that relationship and even that marriage. And that is why we end up in such relationships. We are too blind to see some of these things, because even if somebody is abusive, they might not be abusive from the first day, but from very normal interactions you will not, because mnatoka tu kwa mat, you can see the way atarudishia makanga. One day it is you they will talk to like that. Ama even like you're saying, a waitress or a waiter outside there, ati tu kitu kidogo, and he's already throwing words, doing all those things. That person is most likely to be very abusive, because who told you they will never be that to you? When you trigger them the same way they have been triggered by these people, the same action that was taken upon them will come to you now. So it's very important to be very open-minded and to really be very decisive, because some of these things we are overridden before we really think about them. We allow emotions to go, and then by the time we are really gone too deep to come out, then is when we are involving our minds.
So I think, like, as ladies, we are very quick to turn our shoulder to the red flags. You see, like those little things, we're like, nah, I can't. Because we have this whole idea of, I need to be in a relationship. That's what I think. Romanticizing relationships is the main problem, because now also I saw this story of Derek Jackson. He cheated on his wife, but came and said it on social media. The thing that caught me the most is that the lady defended it with faith, because I think we are blindly following faith. I don't think, and she said that Jesus Christ and God is dealing with him, and so that's why I'm back. But I'm like, that's blindly following faith. I don't think faith ascribes to you being unhappy. Because we want Christianity, and you think Christianity is opposed to divorce, so you have to stay there because the Bible says, oh, your husband, or you will live with him, all this shebang, But I think stop following faith blindly, because that's how you find yourself staying in relationships and saying God will change him, or Mungu kanisa CW ama ndio CW Mothers Union ama nini watasema nini nikiacha, but you are suffering because you want to protect your image.
We have to remember that marriage is not more important than your soul. What is important to God is your soul,
protect
your spirit, and all those things. So if marriage will have to take you away from God, he'd rather deal with it and put it aside before you stay there and you end up being the worst version of yourself. And in the end, what matters is eternal life. If we have to talk about faith, in this place, marriage ends here on earth. So if you play marriage in your life to make it shortchange what you have to attain by the time you're out of this world, then you're not. Some of us are becoming more religious than God. Some of these things, they're basically not even in the Bible. When we keep on telling people you don't have to divorce, the Bible itself has given instances of divorce. And God himself talks about he hates divorce, not people who divorce. The reason why he hates divorce is because of the diverse effects it brings to his child. Not because it's even one of the worst, like, big sin. It's because of the process, the way it has to break you down, all those things, so that is why God hates divorce. So for me, there are specific places where you have to really understand your life and your health comes first, especially in abusive relationships. And when you talk about abusive relationships, we talk about both emotionally, mentally, not just somebody battering you, because we realize even when you're emotionally or mentally abused, the same results come in. You will one day become sick, the same way somebody who's beaten up became sick. And remember, a beaten physical person can even easily come out of that situation because the body heals. But when you're affected in your mind and your heart and your spirit, your body might take forever to heal. Needs a superior being to intervene. So for me, I'd say let not your life be shortchanged because of a relationship or a marriage. If you feel it is the only thing that will give you freedom, look at the word. It's, you know, when it's talking about you being set free and the truth and all that thing, all those things, and basically so many other things the word will say about you seeking peace and let it be the result of everything. That marriage is not giving you peace.
Yeah.
So basically, how do you seek peace? If the best way is for you to separate first, you know, trying, you may try everything, you know, you sort a counselor, you know, you don't just leave, you seek a counselor, maybe a third party, go now to maybe giving them maybe 1-2 days to see if they will do something or begin to change.
Yeah.
But remember, in abusive relationships, you have to be very wise because it is always a cycle. You know, it's a cycle. These people know how to play with your mind because they know it's not right. They do know that. Secondly, they know it is something that you might not endure as a human being. So the cycle basically is, you know, they abuse you. Then, of course, this person will feel guilt. We are all human. But how do they remove the guilt? They clear it by giving excuses.
Yeah. Or
they
even
start telling you.
Grand.
Yeah, like they start telling you that, you know, you're the one who caused me to actually beat you. You shouldn't have talked. And because, like you were saying, we start thinking that I'm the problem and I caused this. We begin to feel like, anyway, I caused it. So that is how they remove the guilt. They now bring excuses in the picture and start making you feel. Now, when they clear their conscience, they now come back to normal behavior. I love you, my dear. You know, of course, now you begin to see he's changing.
He's gonna
this man has, you know.
Then he hits you again.
No, actually, he now brings you to another better place. You know, actually, I think the psychologists say it's a honeymoon phase or something. They now take you higher. You forget. Then they look for an opportunity to actually, you know, a trap again. So it's in them. They will actually look for an opportunity to now be abusive or even cause that. So they will just see something small and they will do that again. Then you see when that cycle keeps going and you know you're very attached to this person, it is very hard for you to leave because it's a confusion and a roller coaster whereby you really don't understand what's going on.
Because there are really ups and downs.
And you know, this person is not abusive every day. So you realize you're still being balanced somehow. When they're abusing you, then the next day they're good. So before you realize it's a bad place, you're already taken. So it's just like that. There's so much confusion, and of course, like we said earlier, other reasons are fear of the unknown. You know, what will people say? Other people are like, how do I live my normal life? Other people are like, I'm so emotionally attached to this person. You know, there's so many reasons people stay there. It's only few people who break out of these situations.
Some of our viewers might be facing that, and I want us to let's redefine that. Let's talk about you are enough. Because all this is brought by us feeling inadequate to deal with it by ourselves. Then I don't have a partner. How am I gonna get out of this thing? It's just, girl, get up. It's time you treat yourself as the queen you are. It's time you get out of these relationships that they do not serve you. Because if he beats you today, he's gonna do it tomorrow. He's gonna do it the other day, and also do something grand for the public to see and be like, oh my God, he's so cute. But it doesn't work like that. It's up to you. Redefine your identity. If it is redefined by God, redefine that. Let you be the daughter of God that you are supposed to be. And you realize that when you run out, when everything goes bad, you know where to run to. I always say that your identity by God, because let's not put our lives that our happiness is dictated by the other gender, because that's how we tarnish our relationships, even with our families and all these things. You have to be strong. You have to get out. At the end of the day, it comes down to you. When it's a lot of people, if it's the world against you, it comes down to you getting up.
Getting up, and of course realizing that these men don't validate your being. You know, having a man in your life is not the best achievement. You know, we always think that is why it even comes after you get your degree. Now people are asking you, what do you even have? As in, it's not the best achievement, meaning they want a man to make you feel like now you have achieved what we are telling. It doesn't make you achieve anything. It only adds an addition for you to continue achieving the great things God has set for you in the future. So begin to just understand yourself in different ways and love yourself so deeply enough, because like we were talking about, those people, they will isolate you, and that is how you don't even have people to stand for. So if you really know yourself, you will know when things are going wrong around you, because these abusers will begin isolating you, so that by the time you need help, you don't know who to seek. You left your friends, you left your family, you left all those things. But when you know yourself enough, you'll always see these things coming, and you'll always see there is something that is not going right. So the basic thing that you're talking about, like Sonny has said, anything to do with identity, and even the devil does that. He always strikes our identity, because he knows when we don't know who we are, we'll never perform in the level we need to strike him and everything he does. So begin to be firm and believe it firmly, and you deserve the best. Gold cannot be mixed with silver and produce the best jewel. So begin to know that if you're gold, you need gold in your life. If you're silver, then you need silver. Of course, even silver being mixed with a medal, it's another thing. So begin to know that you're a real treasure. You're a real, very, very invaluable being, and God values you so much. And marriage and relationships is not the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Remember, with the conversation we've had, remember you're a diamond. They can't break you. If somebody deters you from living your essence, you walk out and you get up and you become greater. And the greatness in you, you realize that. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been Her Essence on Wema Online TV. That's Wema Online TV on all social media handles. And that's the voice of hope.
Wema TV, the voice of hope.